Get your bed from your behind. Tell the stranger sleeping next to you to get the hell out. You've got things to do. Wednesday morning, the week's half done. Try to sober up, it's time to run. There's only 3 days left working from 9 to 5. Then it's party time. Party time. Just a little more work to do. Let's get on up and get the damn thing through. Then we'll get back to numbing our minds.
Boy, did it get kind of warm yesterday, huh? Crazy.
I'll take it.
Windows were open, and it was almost
It was beautiful.
time to close the windows and turn the AC on. The wife came home from work, and she's like, it's so hot. And I was like, I can turn the AC on real quick. And she said, no.
No.
I said, I'm dying to.
Did summery things last night. Went for a walk, put some dirt in the raised new garden bed that I put together the other night. Grilled some salmon.
There you
that's
go.
That's some summery
Wooden
stuff.
plank? Did you wooden plank
I
it?
did not. It was just a
Straight on the grill?
Yeah, it was
All right.
marinated, but no, I didn't.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't do that. But very summery things.
Yeah.
Neighbors were out. We did the fence talk. You know what I mean? They're in their backyard,
hi,
wherever
how you
that's over
doing?
the fence. So we did that, and yeah, very summery. Garage beers were had, I think.
Oh, wow. A Euros?
No, but up and down people were out. They were socializing. It was great. And another day like that today, right? Hit repeat.
Yeah. Forecast even warmer than it was yesterday. Not much, but by a couple of degrees. So it's going to be a nice day. And I've got all the outdoor stuff planned for today. Lawn stuff and garage stuff. My garage door's off kilter. I got to figure that out. I don't know what the hell that means. I'm going to have to watch a YouTube video or something, but yeah, lawn stuff. Lots of lawn stuff happening today. Got to pick up dog crap and mow and all that stuff.
Nice Wednesday, though. You're making it. It's halfway through the work week. Think about that. You're on the downslide.
Yeah. If you want to let us know what you're up to today,
please.
You can go to rockmornings.com to find all of our contact info. Get in touch with us. Love to hear from you guys. You can also download the apps and get in touch with us through the app with voicemails, pictures, and videos. We're going to talk about how Wisconsin Grant Bilse may or may not be. We found out yesterday that apparently Grant Bilse, a man who was born and raised in the state of Wisconsin, does not know how to polka.
I think that's probably somewhat common. Maybe if you didn't learn it in school and you never went to a wedding dance, I don't know.
Next Tuesday,
Grandma didn't tell you?
When we talk to Grant Bilse next Tuesday, barring any sort of major sports story, I think we're going to focus on asking him questions to try and determine how Wisconsin he may or may not be.
So if you've got something you want us to ask, is that what you're thinking? All right.
Yeah, so if you've got questions that may determine a person's
what's in an
Wisco,
old-fashioned?
how Wisco they are. Yeah, I mean, right off the bat, that's a perfect example. What goes into a Wisconsin old-fashioned?
Okay. All right, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, those kind of things. What's the state bird?
I know. He'll know the first day of fishing season, I'm guessing.
One of those kind of questions, yeah. If you want to share those with us, rockmornings.com. It's also One Gotta Go Wednesday. We did this last week with food, different types of food, cultural foods.
So this is a different topic.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about buddy cop movies. You know what a buddy cop movie is?
I do know what a buddy cop movie is.
Yeah. Also, bad news, happy music, and all sorts of other stuff this morning. If you, again, want to be a part of the program, visit the website, rockmornings.com, for all of our contact info. Evanescence in a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Did you hear about the scientist?
I did. Is this 11? 10? Another one missing the space.
No.
I thought it was another space person.
No, this is at the University of Madison, University of Wisconsin.
Oh,
Madison.
I didn't. I heard about the other missing space person.
Well, yeah, there's that. Again, I've been trying to convince you of that for weeks, that there's a conspiracy going on with missing scientists and dead scientists and people connected with alien technology and ties to NASA and all that stuff, but this is completely different.
Okay, then I didn't.
A University of Wisconsin lab worker allegedly confessed to using ChatGPT to help plot the poisoning of his rival colleague.
Oh, I did hear about this. Was this chloroform in his shoes and his water bottle?
And his water bottle, yeah.
Yes.
So apparently they had a long-standing grudge where they didn't get along. Makoto Kuroda, a 41-year-old staff scientist at the university's Influenza Research Institute in the School of Veterinary Medicine in Madison, was charged with recklessly endangering safety and tampering with a household product. somehow didn't get attempted manslaughter. Because, I mean, when you start talking about chloroform and poisons and bottles and shoes, and I mean, that sounds like you're trying to kill somebody, right? Not just make them sick?
Close enough.
Police officers got to the...
chloroformed, I'm going to be...
Well, what comes
pissed.
after, right?
Yeah.
Police officers got to the lab on April 6th after they got a report of a possible chemical discovered inside an employee's water bottle.
Strange odor and bad taste, right? I mean, the guy was like, this is funky.
That employee grew suspicious after he took a sip from a Trader Joe's water bottle, spitting it out, and he noticed a strange taste. 2 days later, he observed the strange odor from his shoes. Obviously, this person works in the lab, is familiar with these smells, knows what is going on here, believed it was chloroform. Subsequent testing of the person's water bottle revealed that it had tested positive for chloroform. The sample value was so high that the test strips were not able to report an accurate value. There was so much chloroform in there that they couldn't register how much there was. Cops were then called back to the research facility after Kuroda then went up to the individual that he was trying to poison and admitted to poisoning him.
Apparently, they started out friends like 5 years ago, and things over the course of time, they were friends, and then something happened, and he became upset, and then he thought his attitude changed, and then he wished something bad would happen to him.
So the guy who got arrested, Kuroda, reportedly went up to the other individual and said, I did it, before commenting on his shoes. The confession scared the other individual, caused him to flee into the coworker's office to report the incident. This guy and the defendant were good friends, unsure how they drifted away and stopped being friends.
High level of chloroform, concerning because it dissipates over time, and it means that the initial exposure the guy had was way higher than when they were able to test the levels, causes liver and kidney damage as well as death in high exposure levels.
Yeah, apparently using ChatGPT on his laptop.
Like, how do you kill somebody with
dosage
chloroform?
And all that stuff. And after his confession to the police, he was arrested and booked into jail April 10th. Judge set his bond at $5,000 on the condition that he doesn't have any contact with the other individual. He also has to surrender his passport and stay away from the UW laboratory. The University of Wisconsin obviously told news reporters that guy's on administrative leave, has his research and digital and physical university privileges revoked.
Of course.
While the school conducts a workplace investigation. But that guy's going to lose his job.
Yeah. And thankfully, the other professor that works in the lab is okay.
Yeah. Didn't, I mean, other than,
you're
terrified.
5 years you're working with somebody and you're friends, and then maybe you just don't hang out anymore as much or whatever, and then they try to kill you.
Scary. Dave Mason, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, founding member of the prog rock band from the 60s, Traffic, has now died. Spokesperson for Dave Mason confirming that he died on Sunday at his home in Gardnersville, Nevada. He was 79 years young. Dave Mason living a remarkable life, devoted to the music and the people that he loved. 2024, Dave Mason postponed a tour after a serious heart condition was discovered during a routine medical checkup. And then last year, 2025, he canceled all his tour dates as his health problems continued. Mason on Instagram at the time of the cancellation said, "Recovery is a long road. My love for you all runs very deep." Yeah. Played with Jimi Hendrix, Paul McCartney, Rolling Stones. Wrote Feeling All Right, as you heard there. Dave Mason, dead at the age of 79. A man has been charged now in connection with the killings in Louisiana. This guy is from Shreveport. Apparently secured the firearm that was used in the mass shooting on Sunday. Law enforcement partners investigating every angle of how the tragedy came to occur, and this case arises from that investigation. Shamar Elkins securing that firearm that he used to execute his own children. Attorney Zachary A. Keller said that Elkins' death means that our community will never see him face justice. Their hope as they continue to investigate and prosecute the case alongside law enforcement partners is that holding the person whose gun Elkins used to perpetrate the crime accountable will give them a small bit of solace in the Shreveport community. Charles Ford, 56 years old, charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm and false statement. Charges related to the firearm that Shamar Elkins used to kill those 8 kids. ATF special agent in charge, Joshua Jackson, said holding people accountable does not stop with the person who pulled the trigger, but also includes those who give access to and proliferate firearms that are later used in violent crime. This guy now facing up to 15 years in federal prison.
For selling him the firearm?
Yeah, firearm possession by a felon and up to 5 years in federal prison for false statement charges. He apparently lied in the initial investigation to the ATF, claiming he never possessed the assault pistol, later admitted that he did possess it and claimed he kept it under his seat. Information determined following a firearms trace when the law enforcement interviewed the original purchaser, identified Ford as the person who she'd given the firearm. So, yeah, they tracked this, traced this gun down to this guy, and he's going to be on the hook for those charges. Noah's Ark, is it real?
You mean
Was
the
it
one
real?
in the Dells?
2x2? No, the one from the Bible, not the Dells.
I was going to say, yes, I've been there. It's very, 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 very real. Opening
Researchers have new findings. Strange rock formation in Turkey could provide information that Noah's Ark was real. Have you seen this thing?
No, what is it?
Yeah,
like part of the boat?
No, there's like a shape in the side of a mountain that looks like a boat, and they've now apparently found tunnels underneath it. Exciting new findings about the rock formation that was first discovered in 1959 on Turkey's Mount Ararat could prove that the boat from the book of Genesis in fact existed at some point. Ground-penetrating radar scans, along with soil samples from the tunnel site, matching the 515-foot dimensions of Noah's Ark, uncovering a series of corridors underneath the earth. Tunnels discovered running down the middle of the boat alongside the inside edge of a possible ship, leading to a central cavity called the atrium. You can obviously Google that if you want to read more, but they're doing all sorts of testing to try to figure out.
Soil samples inside and out and trying to find organic matter. And
nerding out, Gene. They're looking for animal bones down there.
For sure, yeah. Of course they're going to.
Well, they couldn't have any animal bones because the animals got out at some point, right? They landed and they got them to safety. They built the boat to get away from the flood?
I don't know. Maybe
if they got flooded
but
if they got killed in the flood and they were all in the boat, then we wouldn't have any animals left, right?
Well, no, they could reproduce. That's why there was 2 and 2 and 2 and 2 and 2.
Well, apparently they're very excited about some kind of tunnels they found.
Exploring the tunnels with robots and, like I said, doing samples on the dirt itself. And
Harley Davidson recalling 17,000 plus motorcycles, Softails, because of an issue that the company said could lead to the loss of the rear brakes. Rear brake line can come into contact with the body control module. It can cause a hole in the brake line, leading to the brake fluid leaking and a loss of the rear brakes. They plan to replace those body control module caddies and associated hardware on the recalled motorcycles for no extra cost. The rear brake line will also be inspected, and if it's damaged, they'll replace that as well. Sent out letters notifying owners. You can obviously Google that if you've got a Softail, but nearly 17,000 of Harley-Davidson Softails getting recalled because of a possible brake line failure. Just rode mine to work this morning. Don't have a Softail, though, so I should be all right.
I see.
Yeah.
Good morning for it.
Very good morning.
This is pre-bugs, too.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, it's warm enough, but it's pretty much pre-bug. There's mosquitoes here and there and other things.
But no big bugs.
Emerging. I saw a giant yesterday. I was walking giant bumblebee doing its thing. Just like one of the big fat
bumblebeeing,
tired ones, you know, that are just kind of slow and fuzzy.
We'll get to sports in a couple of minutes. Right now it's Evanescence.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
The Milwaukee Brewers kicking off a series against the Detroit Tigers last night with a nice 12-4 win.
41 pitches and climbing to right. Matos makes the catch. Brewers take game one in the Motor City by a final of 12-4. They hand the Tigers just their second home loss of the season in the process.
Brew Crew and Tigers tonight at 5:40, second of 3 against Detroit. Former Badger guard John Blackwell is going to Duke. announced yesterday in an Instagram post that he had committed to Duke. He was one of the most highly regarded players to enter the transfer portal after teaming up with Nick Boyd this season to give the Badgers one of the most dominant backcourts in the nation. Obviously, the Badgers didn't get it done in the playoffs, in the tournament, but he's going to Duke.
Okay.
John Blackwell. NBA playoffs last night, the 76ers evening up the series with the Boston Celtics at a game apiece, beating Boston 111-97. Trailblazers and Spurs are also knotted up at a game apiece after Portland beat San Antonio last night, 106-103. And the Lakers took a commanding 2-0 series lead on the Rockets by beating Houston 101-94 last night. Scary moment in the Spurs Trailblazers game as Victor Wembanyama, the defensive player of the year, went down hard and hit his face on the court and got a concussion.
Watch as Victor goes down in his head. Now watch the eyes.
I'm not sure if his face hit first on the floor as he went down.
Oh, he's dazed.
Dazed, yeah.
He is dazed.
Yeah, so he goes down hard. You can see it in the slow-mo. He really whacks his chin against the court. Then he lays down for a minute, and then as he tries to get up, he's struggling. This isn't a faked injury, right? This isn't a LeBron. This looks like a legitimate...
Like he could... got his
bell rung pretty bad,
yeah.
This was during the second quarter of last night's Game 2 playoff loss to the Trailblazers. Wemby played just 12 minutes before he was placed in the concussion protocol and ruled out for the rest of the game. By the way, under the NBA's concussion protocol, a player cannot return to full participation for a full 48 hours after the time of the injury, but can resume gradual activity after 24 hours as long as symptoms don't worsen. Then the player must hit several benchmarks while being symptom-free before he's cleared to play. He'll then require clearance from the team's doctor in consultation with league protocol directors.
Clearance.
Game 3, by the way, is on Friday in Portland, so they do have a couple of days off before the next game, and he could get clear, but
I don't know, it might take longer than that.
We'll see what happens. Tonight in the NBA, Orlando at Detroit at 6 p.m. on ESPN for Game 2 of that series. The Magic are up on the Pistons 1-0, and the Phoenix Suns take on the Oklahoma City Thunder at 8:30 on ESPN. Tonight, the Thunder up 1-0 in that series. NBA announcing yesterday that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, SGA, is the winner of the 2025-2026 Clutch Player of the Year award. All these NBA awards coming out. As we mentioned, Wemby, the Defensive Player of the Year. Now you got SGA as the Clutch Player of the Year. NHL last night, playoffs continuing with the Lightning beating the Canadiens 3-2, tying up that series at a game apiece. Bruins almost did it again. They had a 4-0 lead on the Sabres in the third period, and the Buffalo Sabres managed to score 2 points, get 2 in the net, and the Bruins held on and got the win. 4-2 the final score there. That series tied up at a game apiece. And then Utah beat Vegas 3-2, also tied up at 1-1. And Colorado beat the Kings last night. The Avs are up 2-0 in that series. But the big moment last night was when the glass shattered behind the LA Kings bench.
It's just the celebration of the Wedgwood save. And the entire pane of glass lands on Coach Smith.
He's going to need a shower. A full hose down.
Not sure how that happened, but you could see a shattered pane of glass behind DJ Smith.
Yeah. Kings interim head coach DJ Smith ducking when the shattered glass fell on him after the pane behind him broke during the Avalanche's 2-1 overtime win in Game 2 of the Western Conference first-round series last night. It happened right after Quinton Byfield was stopped on a penalty shot by the Avalanche goaltender Scott Wedgwood. With about 16:48 left in the second period, the glass began to sway, fans pounding on it. Next thing you know, it's just in a million pieces. They had to clear the benches and bring out the
that takes a while to clean up, doesn't it?
Yeah, the delay between the penalty save and the resumption of play was about 20 minutes. The score was 0-0 when play was halted. But, yeah, that was the big news out of the LA Kings game.
Well, you know what it's
night.
like when you shatter a glass in your kitchen. There's a half an hour trying to find all the pieces of glass.
Tonight in the end, and then you find some 3 weeks later when you step on it because you missed a piece. But tonight in the NHL, Pittsburgh at Philly, 6 p.m. on TNT and True TV for Game 3 of that series with the Flyers up 2-0. Dallas at Minnesota, 8:30 on TNT and True TV. Game 3 of that series, which is tied up at a game apiece. And then finally, the Anaheim Ducks at the Edmonton Oilers at 9 p.m. on TBS. That's Game 2 of that series, the Oilers are up 1-0. Yesterday, we also got Mike Vrabel finally saying something at a podium.
You know, I've had some difficult conversations with people that I care about, with my family, the organization, the coaches, the players. Those have been positive and productive. You know, we believe in order to be successful on and off the field, you have to make good decisions. That includes me. That starts with me. We never want our actions to negatively affect the team. We never want to be the cause of a distraction. You know, and those are comments and questions that I've answered for the team and with the team. We'll keep those private and, you know, to ourselves. I care deeply about this football team, and I'm excited to coach them. I also know that I'm going to attack each day with humility and focus. And what I can promise you is that my family, this organization, the team, the staff, the coaches, everybody, our fans, most importantly, will get the best version of me going forward.
Didn't really say anything about Rossini, the photos, didn't admit to anything, and which is, you know, that's what you do.
That's exactly what I expect.
Talk about how I did what I needed to do, and making it about football, and we're moving forward. So, yeah. Again, Vrabel's got the benefit of not being investigated by the NFL, whereas Rossini, gets fired and is now, sort of a scarlet letter
and he can
type
just say
situation.
Nothing.
Well, now he doesn't have to talk anymore, and the draft is coming up, and so there's really not much he has to do.
Yeah.
And they're already started their off-season workout programs and all that crap, and so we'll see what happens. But Vrabel finally got in front of a microphone and spoke for a few minutes and didn't really say much of anything, which is kind of what I expected. Sports on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to some Shinedown in just a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene on your rock station.
Uh-oh. Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Huh? Guess what day it is? Julie. Huh? Julie. Huh? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Anybody? Anybody? Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Woo-hoo! Mike. Huh? What day is it, Mike? Huh? Oh, come on. I know you can hear me. Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is? Leslie, guess what today is?
Hump Day, Gene.
It's Hump Day.
Hump Day! Woo-hoo!
Yeah, it is, in fact, Hump Day. Getting over the hump with a bunch of stuff outside. Got to work on that lawn, man. Cut that grass. Pick up that dog crap. Get that bird seed in the bird feeder. Got a text from Brian. Said, morning, everyone. It's my Friday, so happy Friday, bitches. Got a question for you two. When is it better to go see a Brewer ball game, mid-May or mid-July? And is there a specific area you like to watch the game from?
I think it's good to go see the Brewers whenever, isn't it?
If it's July, there's a likelihood that the roof is going to be open.
Yeah, it could be if it's not raining.
So it could be really warm.
Could be.
In May, I like May because it's, if it's too cold for the roof to be open, they'll just close it, but it's nice and mild inside the ballpark.
But summer,
if
you've
it's
got
really
that
nice
July,
and they
you've
have
got that Americana thing going on.
Yeah.
The hot dogs and baseball.
Well, and there's so many areas to watch the game from. It really is a personal preference thing. I like to be out of the sun and in the shade. So it depends on what time you're going to the game, because obviously there's 6:10 starts, there's 1:10 starts, there's,
And you've watched from down by the bullpen, you've watched on the decks, you've watched from regular seats. Just depends, doesn't it? I mean,
it really is about personal preference. Are you
going with a big group? Or
Brian, I would recommend going maybe into a Reddit, thread, maybe trying to search for one, see what people suggest. Because I don't know what your personal preferences are. Some people love to sit in the sun all day long.
Yeah.
Not me, bro. I want to be in the shade. I want to be out of the sun. I want to be in the dark.
Well, and if you are going on WiscoTrips.com, that should tell you more about the seating choices. And if you have any questions, you can
Some
reach
of the
out,
areas of the ballpark are all-inclusive, where they come with food and beverages provided. If you want to be like we like our seats around 213 because then we're close to the craft beer oasis, and so we can get there and get craft beers. You know,
see, it's personal preference.
Maybe you want a special kind of food that's at the ballpark, and they only have it at certain sections. So there's a lot going into that question if you're going to Miller Park for the first time. And unfortunately, I can tell you what I like, but it may not be what you like. Speaking of baseball, we got another text.
Yes,
I'm not sure who this is from, but they said, not sure if the picture came through, but a guy that grew up in Tomah, Wisconsin, is starting his first MLB game tonight as a pitcher for the Twins. His name is Connor Prilip. I think that's how you say that. Connor Prilip, taking on the New York Mets, who, by the way, have lost like 12 in a row. Oof, they're struggling. Thank you for sending that information along. Appreciate that. Prilip.
Tomah High School in Tomah, Wisconsin.
Look at that guy. Major League Baseball starter.
Senior in 2019.
Good luck, dude. Television tonight, the NBA playoffs continuing on ESPN. The Pistons hosting the Magic at 6 p.m. and then the Thunder hosting the Suns at 8:30. The 5th season finale of Abbott Elementary is on ABC tonight with back-to-back episodes. Also, the first season finale of The Greatest Average American is on ABC. New episode of Hollywood Squares on CBS. Celebrities this week are Howie Mandel, Tiffany Haddish, Leslie Jones, Whitney Cummings, Anna Gasteyer, Triumph the Insult Comic Dog, and then, of course, you got Drew Barrymore in the center square. Episode 5 of The Testaments on Hulu. And Hulk Hogan's Real American docuseries debuts on Netflix today. Yeah, documentary about Hulk Hogan and Terry Bollea, the guy who, of course, is behind the character of Hulk Hogan. It features his very last interview, by the way, because he died shortly after they filmed these episodes. I think there's 3. And Hulk Hogan Real American debuting on Netflix today.
That'll be a watch, huh?
Also on Netflix today, Lainey Wilson, Keeping Country Cool. People love Lainey Wilson. And if you want to find out more about her life and where she came from, you can watch Lainey Wilson, Keeping Country Cool on Netflix today.
I think a lot of people think that this was an overnight success. I've been here 14 years, so a 14-year overnight success. I spent a decade being the one you didn't see coming. I am putting everything I built on the line to make sure they never forget the name, Lainey Wilson. I remember at 5 years old feeling more comfortable on stage than I do anywhere else. I was going and playing at random things. I played on top of an air conditioning unit. My payment was 3 hot dogs the rest of my entire life. That is one of the biggest flexes I will ever have. I was so broke when we met. I don't think that I would be able to navigate this life and everything with anybody else. Feel it in my heart that I was called to be a mama, but sometimes the Lord just has other plans. I'm going to freeze my eggs in April, put them babies on ice.
Lainey Wilson, Keeping Country Cool, debuting on Netflix today. You've also got new episodes of Chicago Med, Fire, and PD, and all of the late night shows are new. Jimmy Fallon's going to be talking to Charlize Theron and Donnie Wahlberg. Adam Scott is on with Jimmy Kimmel, so is Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Stephen Colbert is talking to Pete Buttigieg and Andy Serkis, and then Seth Meyers has got Coleman Domingo and Scott MacArthur as his guests tonight. I watched yesterday in the afternoon Untold, the shooting at Hawthorne Hill.
Unfamiliar.
So Untold is like a series of about an hour-long documentaries about stories. One of them,
different things. One
of them was Lamar Odom overdosing in the brothel or the strip club or whatever, and they've done a bunch of these. This one is a lot of them are based on sports too, by the way. This one is about horse dressage, the fancy galloping horses at the Olympics that do the dances with the costumes and all that stuff, and how kind of uppity that is. And it talks about a case from, I think it was 2019, where a guy who was an Olympic horse dressage dude back in 2008 and now trains people to ride horses that way, was training a young lady how to ride horses and do the whole thing. And then eventually, like, their relationship broke down so far that he ended up shooting her in the chest. And then the subsequent trial and all that stuff. It's called Untold, the shooting at Hawthorne Hill. I watched that yesterday afternoon. It's about an hour and 20 minutes.
Niche.
I was just, I didn't quite remember the story.
I get it.
But, boy, it's interesting.
They do a good job making it salacious. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, look, for a subject that I don't care anything about, horse dressage, it was certainly interesting. It was funny, too, because, they're interviewing this guy. Like, so they start the show out. They're interviewing the guy who did the shooting and the girl who got shot.
She didn't die?
Years after the incident, at the beginning. And so you're looking at them, and then they go back in time, and it was only 7 years ago. So this was, right around the beginning of COVID. And, and you sort of see how things played out. But I won't give away too much. But Untold, the shooting at Hawthorne Hill. Did you catch anything yesterday? No?
We're watching some sitcom you probably won't like. I found it's called Catastrophe, and it's from like 2015, and it is
awful.
No, it's great. It's a sitcom. Okay. It's like a guy, basically in a nutshell, an American guy goes to London for a work trip and impregnates an Irish woman, and then they end up getting married and having kids.
I did see that the guy who made Baby Reindeer, remember that show?
I sure do.
He's got a new show coming out, and apparently it's
also crazy about crazy people.
Apparently, so. RockMornings.com to get in touch with us. We got a bunch of other texts. We'll get to those in a bit. Right now, it's either
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at RockMornings.com.
Do you know what today is?
No, why don't you tell me?
You don't know? Today is Earth Day. Earth Day. And Earth Day heist.
Much better than Earth Day.
Earth Day? Happy Earth Day, everyone. I'm Recyclops.
Start a recycling program for Earth Day.
You recycle?
We recycle everything.
Best Earth Day ever. Holla.
Happy Earth Day.
How about some Earth Day entertainment?
It is Earth Day. Started in Wisconsin, right?
Yes.
In like 1970.
Gaylord Nelson.
1950, 1970.
He was influential in that whole movement. And have you ever been to Nelson State Park?
Don't think so.
You should go sometime. It's extraordinary.
So yeah, recognizing almost 60 years ago that we needed to try to do more to save the planet.
Yes. Yep. Trying to, I don't know, plant a tree, right? Is that what the deal is? I mean,
plant a tree, recycle, use less oil or water or whatever.
The oil spill was the thing that kind of was the initiator for all of this. But litter cleanup, there's a lot of that after the winter.
Adopting a section of the highway. Just saw our friend Snapper at Hillsborough Brewing Company.
Was doing that?
Yeah, so they had our friends at the Hillsborough Brewing Company in Hillsborough, Wisconsin, Snapper, and the wonderful people down there adopted a stretch of the highway, much like a lot of organizations. And then once or twice a year, you go out and you pick up all the trash. And very funny video on social media of Snapper trying to change the speed limit on the speed limit sign because he adopted that stretch of the highway. And then the fuzz showed up and said, don't think you can do that.
Tongue in cheek.
But yeah, Earth Day.
Litter cleanup, you can do that like on your street, right? When you're walking around picking up bottles, a beach, a neighborhood cleanup, obviously. Planting and gardening. I think this is kind of cool. Take recycled materials and maybe make a birdhouse with the kids.
There you go.
That's fun. So they
no
can
shortage of YouTube
DIY
videos on how to repurposing things too, right? Like so you look at something that maybe has run its course that you've used in your house, whether it's a fork or a power something or whatever, and saying, okay, well, instead of throwing this in the trash,
what can I do with this?
Or selling it at like to somebody at a yard sale, what can I do with this to repurpose it and turn it into something else?
Here are some Earth Day tips. Remember to turn off the water while brushing your tooth. Donate to causes that protect our natural resources, like rivers, forests, and the Kardashians. Only flush the toilet once, twice if cops are at the door and you have a lot of drugs. And avoid wasting packaging by only ordering Taylor Swift's new album on vinyl, or cassette, or compact disc, or anthology, but not all 4. Oh, what the heck? Screw it. Order all 4. Hashtag Swifty for life.
Earth Day. Also National Jelly Bean Day, and it's also Administrative Professionals Day, a.k.a. Secretary's Day.
I have to admit that I did not know which particular day was Earth Day. I knew it was in April, and I knew it was right around this date, but I didn't know that. Right? There may be community activities where you live, but I didn't know particularly it was this day. By the way, it's Governor Nelson State Park. You'll find that kind of near Wanakee if you ever get a chance to go. Also, Gaylord Nelson Wilderness in the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore. Mwah, gorgeous.
A utility worker in Phoenix being praised for his heroic actions after he rescued a toddler seconds before the child ran into traffic. Ugh. The guy's name is Robert Butler, spotted the kid running alone towards a busy intersection, pulled over, and was able to grab the kid before it was too late.
Thinking back on it now, I'm not sure if it was God or something, was divine intervention. I don't know. But there was something that day that was off the normal that just put me at that, I guess, the right place at the right time. Just think about, when I get home and my son's happy to see me. Just thinking that little boy can be happy to see his parents or whoever.
Oof. That guy with a young son at home putting himself in that parent's shoes. Said my heart dropped. In one swift motion, he pulled over, jumped out of his truck, and rushed towards the toddler, believed to be about 3 years old, reaching him just before he stepped into traffic. Able to save the kid's life. By the way, it was all caught on video as well, thanks to traffic cameras. So you can see this guy with the Arizona Public Service, Robert Butler.
Oh my God.
Saving this kid's life. Only takes a second, right? And then the kid's loose. And
that was the only time I got really so scared. I got super angry afterwards and
my mom
whooped him. I was he ran out in the road one time and I lost it.
Mine was at a store because I used to like to hide when they had the round clothing racks.
Hide inside of it.
And to get inside. And so I got loose and hid inside one of those. And then, of course, I heard my mom screaming my name. And she's freaking out. And I'm laughing. I thought it was so funny. I was probably 4 or 5 years old. And then she beat my ass when she found me. She's crying the whole time. Getting my ass kicked in the middle of Kmart.
Yep.
A much-deserved ass whooping. Well, if you were a better mom, I wouldn't find this so funny. I'd want to hang out with you at Kmart.
Lost the kids many times, including the zoo, but that running out in the road one, that was worthy of a...
Elsewhere, did you see the kids who got the Wienermobile to take them to the prom?
Yes, I did.
This is such a cool story because they just happened to be in town for the NASCAR race, the Oscar Mayer Wienermobiles.
Because aren't they, 3 of them are racing or something?
So this was in Kansas, and they do, a promotion and a pre-race celebration, and they're out there on the track racing and whatever. So they're in town, and these students from a local high school, Seaman High School, saw the Wienermobile while they were at Sonic and wanted to take some pictures with the Wienermobile, because how often does that thing roll through your town? Their prom was the very next day. One of the kids said, hey, we should see if we could rent this thing for prom. How cool would that be? So they talked to the lady that was driving it. Her name is Maggie Dawson. She's one of these people who entered the contest to be the brand ambassador and drive the Wienermobile.
Yes.
She checked her schedule and said, you know what? I got nothing going on tomorrow.
I can pick you up.
I got to check with the bosses, the people in the office and make sure it's all right. And that's exactly what they did. They did it for free, too.
Mm-hmm.
The Wienermobile picked up these kids and dropped them off at school.
One of my buddies was like, can we rent this thing? And I was like, bro, what if we just ask about prom? Right. What if they take us? It's tomorrow. That'd be insane.
And it was a little light bulb. And we were like, well, what time is prom? And from there, we checked our schedule, and we were able to make it happen. Hearing about prom, I have such special memories, with my high school experience with my prom, and knowing that we could add the weenie magic of the big dog to it. We figured it had to be done.
The big dog. Yeah. I love that.
Meatloaf Maggie, by the way, that's her name, the driver. She's the hot dogger driver, and also known as Meatloaf Maggie.
Maggie said,
heck yeah.
It's such a special thing for me being the steward that gets to bring them there, so I can't even imagine what kind of happiness it's going to bring.
Did you see all of them dressed in their prom dresses and suits and stuff standing outside the Wienermobile? You can't buy press like that. It's great.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
They just asked. Yeah.
What's the worst they could say is no?
Yes, that's right. They just took a chance and said, yeah. And they were like, hey, you know what? We're still in town tomorrow, and I don't have anything going on at that time. And it's basically a big limo.
Yeah. I would ask.
I would ask, too.
That's awesome. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Again, got a text from Brian wondering about where and when to watch the Brewer game at Miller Park. Said he got his 5-year-old son to help him do some Googling and try to figure it out. He said the shade is definitely what he's looking for. So thank you, Brian. You're welcome. Again, it's really about personal preference. You know, like I said, there's people, psychos out there that like to sit in the sun all effing game.
Well, and then there's giveaways. Sometimes you go to a particular game because they're doing a particular night or whatever the premium item is. So it
check
just
the
depends.
Promotional schedule
who
on the
they're
website.
Playing, what time of the day, what day of the week, all that.
Whatever you do, have fun. Make sure if you're going to AmFam Field, though, for the first time that you walk around, you see everything. I know it sucks because you miss some of the game because there's so much to see and do, and you can really only get into the ballpark about an hour and a half before the game starts. But if you got time and you can walk around and check everything out, it's pretty cool. They got a lot of stuff going on there, even though they need a lot of upgrades, too. They're working on it. Coming up next, One Gotta Go Wednesday, Buddy Cop Film Edition.
Okay.
We'll get to that in just a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Start your day with Rock Mornings.
Here's to all the office help. We are celebrating you. We can't thank you enough for your contribution. We rely on you. You keep us organized and 1,000 other things. So here's your special day. Just don't get cocky and ask for a raise.
Not just Earth Day, it's also Administrative Professionals Day, a.k.a. Secretary's Day.
Celebrated
they changed it when we got woke.
Annually on the Wednesday of the last full week of April to recognize the essential contributions, obviously, of those people that
order the paper for the printer.
Make things run. Yep. Organized, productive.
Schedule things.
1952 was the first year, by the way, that was recognized.
Administrative Professionals Day. It's also One Gotta Go Wednesday. We started this last week with cultural food items. Both of us agreeing that German food has got to go.
Love it, and there's a place for it, but if I have to pick.
If I had to pick between Mexican, Italian, Chinese, and German food, I'm getting rid of German food.
This one's going to be harder for me because to some degree I don't care.
Okay. Buddy cop movies. You know the drill, right?
Uh-huh.
Lethal Weapon, Murtaugh and Riggs, Crazy New Partner, I'm Too Old for This Bleep, starts becoming a part of the family, all sorts of shenanigans, different villains in different movies, a lot of yelling of the last name, Riggs, Wilmer Riggs, 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 right? But they're always there for each other. Buddy cop movies, a lot of fun activities. You get Joe Pesci in there. Leo Getz. That's number one. Lethal Weapon. The next one is Eddie Murphy in Beverly Hills Cop.
That whole series.
Starting out in Detroit, going to Beverly Hills, going back to Detroit. Really bad third one. Waited about 20 years, finally came out with a fourth one.
Last year.
Beverly Hills Cop is number 2. Again, One Gotta Go Wednesday, Buddy Cop Movie Edition. So far, Lethal Weapon, Beverly Hills Cop. You've also got, of course, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith in the Bad Boys movies.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when we come for you?
Yeah. kind of similar to Beverly Hills Cop. Had a couple right out the chute. The first one was very impressive with Tia Leone. Mike Lowry. Second one was okay. Third one was not. Fourth one, a little too late. And then our fourth entry into One Gotta Go Wednesday would be Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker in Rush Hour.
Beach Boy. Oh, hell no. You didn't just touch my goddamn radio. The Beach Boys are great American music. The Beach Boys gonna get you a great ass whooping. Don't you ever touch a black man's radio, boy.
A little more funny. A little more comedy-based than the other ones. Mm-hmm. Still a lot of action, though. Jackie Chan flying around, kicking people, kicking ass. Chris Tucker. Detective James Carter of the FBI. Well, not really, but wanted to be in the FBI. G-14 classified. No? Mm-mm. Have you watched any of these movies?
Yes.
Which of these series, because these are series, obviously, which of these do you think you've seen the most of? The Lethal Weapons?
Probably Lethal Weapon and
Beverly Hills Cop?
Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
Because I even watched the one that was released last year.
Well, Lethal Weapon and Beverly Hills Cop started in the 80s.
Yes.
Right?
And I think I've seen most of the...
Whereas Bad Boys, I don't think started till the mid to late 90s,
Yes.
and then Rush Hour are kind of the same thing.
Around the same thing. For me, it would be Rush Hour. If I was to pick another series that I'd insert, would probably be like Men in Black, because I really like those movies. And I don't know if that's a cop, kind of. They're detectives, right? They're FBI agents and it's aliens.
They're
and
a government
invasion.
agency that protects us from aliens.
So I'd insert that one more than I would. I guess Chris Tucker's not
your jam,
Not
huh?
my jam.
Really?
And I don't, as much as I can appreciate it, most certainly, Kung Fu movies are not my thing.
At all, huh?
No.
You don't like Kung Fu?
I do.
One Gotta Go Wednesday. Gina's taking Rush Hour. She's throwing away Jackie Chan and all of his martial arts skills and Chris Tucker's very fast, loud bass comedy. Mm-hmm. Very aggressive comedy.
For me. And I'd insert Men in Black, take that one out and put that in.
You don't have to insert. It's One Gotta Go Wednesday.
That would be mine.
Gene's getting rid of Rush Hour.
Yep.
Well, I'm gonna start with the obvious when it comes to me. It ain't Lethal Weapon. It's too effing good. I love it too much. I have too much of a emotional connection to the movies, even though they weren't all great. Those two together, awesome. They were awesome. They're kind of the standard when it comes to buddy cop movies, and there's been plenty of them. But I would say that if I were to hear the phrase buddy cop movie, I would immediately think of Lethal Weapon.
Right.
First
choice,
and foremost.
First choice.
So that one's got to stay. I would keep Beverly Hills Cop as well. Eddie Murphy, awesome. The first couple were great, even though the last couple weren't all that great. So I would.
And these are more series too, right? Because they're not the one-offs. Because there's a ton of one-offs.
Yeah, there's a ton of one-offs, like Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan.
Yeah, Ride Along and all that.
There's a million of them, So I would also probably go with Rush Hour. Part of it is Donut and I used to love watching the Bad Boys movies when we were growing up, younger. So I have an affinity for those as well. But I would have to say that Rush Hour would probably... And I thoroughly enjoy the Rush Hour movies. I think they're fine. I don't have a problem with them. But I think if I had to pick one, I would also pick Rush Hour.
Is the 48 Hours a series?
Yeah, Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte. There's, I think, two or three of them. I thought about including that.
I think there's only two, isn't there? 48 and another 48.
Another 48 Hours. But I just didn't feel like they had the amount of film. Like, these films all have, I think, at least four. So, yeah. For both of us, again, same idea. One Gotta Go Wednesday.
And Die Hard you wouldn't say that's a buddy cop movie necessarily?
No, because he didn't have a sidekick.
Right.
It was John McClane kicking ass. And he had different people along the way, but it was always John McClane. Dean texted in and said, Bad Boys can go, Lethal Weapon is the GOAT. Yeah, I would agree. Lethal Weapon is the GOAT. I like the Bad Boys movies. It's a tough decision to pick between Bad Boys and Rush Hour because I like them both about the same. but maybe because Bad Boys has been around a little longer.
Well, and you have the donut thing, right?
And the connection with my best friend, watching them together. One Gotta Go Wednesday. If you want to chime in, let us know which one you're picking. You can go to rockmornings.com. Let us know.
Also, if you've got a question about Wisconsin for Grant next week, let us know about that. We are going to ask him some Wisconsin questions. Grant Bilse from the Wisco Sports Show came up yesterday. He doesn't know how to polka, and it felt like that's...
Yeah, we're going to get to that here.
Because you can even polka badly. You know what I mean? It is that dance where it's like you just go back and forth. You don't really have to know how to be able to get out there on the polka floor and go
kind of just
round
bouncing
and round.
left and bouncing right and spinning.
Yes.
I mean, that's
so
it, really.
if he doesn't know that, what else does he know about Wisconsin?
We're going to get to that list here in a bit. How Wisco is Grant Bilse? The questions we're going to ask him next week. But again, if you want to chime in on our One Gotta Go Wednesday Buddy Cop Movie Edition, rockmornings.com.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find the daily podcast at rockmornings.com.
That, of course, is Metallica with Stone Cold Crazy, cover of the Queen classic. It's Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. The Brew Crew over the Tigers last night. Big win for the Brewers, 12-4. Bats coming alive.
That's good.
NBA and NHL playoffs continuing last night and tonight in the NBA. Tonight, you got Orlando at Detroit, 6 o'clock on ESPN, Game 2 of that series. Phoenix at OKC, that's at 8:30 on ESPN. Thunder up 1-0 in that series. NHL playoffs tonight. Pittsburgh at Philly, 6 p.m., TNT and True TV. Dallas at Minnesota at 8:30, also on TNT and True TV. And then you've got the Ducks at the Oilers at 9 p.m. on TBS for Game 2 of that series. NFL Draft, of course, starts tomorrow night at 7 p.m. on ESPN and ABC.
That's big, isn't it? Everybody's going to be at draft parties?
Yeah, it's from Pittsburgh, the NFL Draft. And everybody sort of knows that the number one pick's going to be Fernando Mendoza. After that, look, I know a lot of people love the draft. I couldn't give two poops about it. I couldn't tell you anybody else who's getting drafted.
And he's staying at home, right? Isn't that
That's what he says.
Yeah.
That he's not going to attend the NFL draft. Mike Tomlin, former Pittsburgh Steelers head coach, has got a new gig. He's going to be on NBC. They're making some big changes. They got rid of Tony Dungy. Word is they might get rid of Rodney Harrison as well. Refreshing
Bringing
and changing.
a whole new staff?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, Mike Tomlin, known for his, his very unique delivery when he's at the podium. We played hard today. I like the guys that went out there and they did the football thing. And then we got a win because we scored more points than the other team. I'm Mike Tomlin. That's what I said. My impersonation of Mike Tomlin is way, way, way off. But if you've ever heard Mike Tomlin speak, it's kind of similar. Very unique way of delivering his statements. Apparently, he's going to be on the Sunday Night Football in America pregame show on NBC. Billy Donovan exiting as the head coach of the Chicago Bulls after 6 seasons. The Bulls made it clear that the organization wanted Donovan back after they made a bunch of changes to the front office. But Donovan said, you know what? You might as well make it a clean sweep. I'm going to go too. So Billy Donovan out as the head coach in Chicago. Meanwhile, it sounds like the Super Bowl could be headed to Nashville.
I heard about that. Brand new stadium.
I was informed by a source on Saturday that it is signed and ready to go, in his opinion, that Nashville is getting the 2030 Super Bowl. I haven't seen any reports on this. This is what I was told on Saturday.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. Nashville, of course, the brand new stadium will be completed, and
they got a bazillion hotels.
A bazillion things to do. That
really
stadium,
nice weather.
Stadium is right downtown. I mean, it's across the river, across the bridge from all of the things to do. Shows and bars and restaurants and hotels and
everything you need to have thousands of people.
Airport, the whole thing
coming to
Makes
town.
Sense.
Yeah, Nashville. Dan Patrick there talking
New
about
stadium.
the rumors that he's heard that Nashville may be getting it not till 2030, however. So that, of course, will be after the stadium has been finished and they've worked out some of the kinks, built probably a few more hotels. Not to mention mass transit. That's always a big important thing. Making sure people can get to and from the stadium and all that stuff. But yeah, looking at Nashville as a possible site for the 2030 Super Bowl. Got a text from Brenda. Said, what about Miami Vice, Crockett and Tubbs? We were talking strictly about movies. That is, of course, a TV show that got turned into a movie. It wasn't a very good movie either. Colin Farrell and Jamie Foxx. But, yeah, and I don't even know if, like, I don't know, does Miami Vice really fit the buddy cop thing? There's, like, no real comedy there, right? It's more of a serious drama, right? The TV show was. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like one of them was comic relief. They were both like serious cops.
Friend cops, buddy cops. I mean, I see where the connection is there, but also a TV show versus a movie.
Yeah. Thank you, Brenda. Appreciate the text.
For sure.
We're going to get to our questions, some of our questions that we've got in the chute for Grant Bilse next Tuesday when we find out how Wisco he is.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Weekdays, 6 to 9.
He was born in the state. He was raised in the state. He lives in the state. He's moved around to different areas in the state. But yet, what does he actually know about the state of Wisconsin? Yesterday, we found out from Grant Bilse, the host of the Wisco Sports Show, that he apparently does not know how to polka.
Now, he was raised in the central Wisconsin area in a small town.
Very Wisconsin.
Very Wisconsin.
Yes.
And he does all the Wisconsin
they
things.
Have a cabin on a lake.
Supper
clubs with the ice cream drinks, the whole 9 yards.
Small town festival. He's a fly fisherman. He's super into that. He hunts as well. But what is he? He doesn't know how to polka. And I get that, although it seems easy. Go left and right, back and forth, back and forth.
Especially when you probably go to places where they're polkaing a lot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He's also a musician.
They do it at the Brewer game. Every game, roll out the barrel, and they got the girls on top of the dugouts, and they're dancing around doing the polka. Yesterday, as we were speaking to Grant Bilse of the Wisco Sports Show, we found out that he apparently doesn't know how to polka.
Maybe they were getting ready to polka. My mom always said she's going to teach me how to polka, because anytime, look, don't say anything, by the way.
You don't know how to polka?
About your mom? I'd like to teach your mom how to polka.
How do you not know how? Didn't
your
you grow
mama
up
could polka me.
in the public school system in Wisconsin?
This is always what people say. What do you think we do in public school? Do you think
we had a dance class. Didn't you learn to do any of that?
We didn't learn to do the twist.
Not the twist, the polka, square dance.
We might have learned the electric slide.
I would gladly interlock my fingers with your mom and
polka.
You got your one. You got your one that I set you up for. That was the one was good. Thank you.
Oh man, I give her two, not
polka,
one. I
back
give her
and
two.
forth. I mean, until you were winded. I mean, you'd have a good minute and a half in there.
Glass of water. So Grant admitted freely of his own accord that he was waiting as a grown man for his mother to teach him how to do the polka, and it feels like. What do you think Grant is, 28, 29? Somewhere in that vicinity?
Pushing 30.
Almost around 30? You'd think in 30 years of being a Wisconsinite, you would have picked that skill up somewhere, even at a very amateur,
Well, and like I said, he's a musician. He plays out live for people.
I'm not saying you got to win a competition, right?
No, nobody does.
But I'm just saying, like, that skill, you have to have that at some point.
You've been at a beer tent before.
Right. So we decided yesterday that next Tuesday, when we talk to Grant Bilse, we're going to ask him questions to try and determine how Wisco he actually is.
I'm sure he's been to many, 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 many fish fries. I'm sure he's, combated mosquitoes out on the lake while he's been fishing. Has he been to the Dells? Has he rode a water park? I don't know.
What are the things that make you a Wisconsinite, right? Number one, you have to know, if you're of drinking age, you have to know how to make an old-fashioned.
Well,
right?
At least what's in it. I think you need to know the ingredients. You may not have to have ever muddled, but you need to know what's in
That's a very important part of it.
You've had a deep-fried cheese curd, right? I mean, that's a thing you've done.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we have to list all the things. Have you done that?
Have it.
I would certainly say some sort of vacation in the Dells.
Yes.
Even though
I would agree. Water park.
Even though we laugh and joke about the fibs, coming in from Illinois.
He does have a Brewers and a Packer jerseys, right? Like he's tailgated. He's done that.
Yeah. I mean, those seem obvious, but yet so does polka, right? Look, the euchre, sheep's head, some form of a card game that originates from the Midwest.
You have to learn this skill,
No, I don't.
too. Yes, you do.
I
Yes.
hate you people, and I hate your stupid
Come
game.
on.
I want to burn the house down every time
I
someone
bet
starts
Grant knows how to play euchre, and you and I, we need to.
no.
You can do this.
No.
I have faith in you. You can
don't.
play euchre.
I am so against
You
it
and
now.
me need to be
I am
partners.
so against learning how to do that now.
I'll
No.
go alone. I'll call Trump. You just stay there and be my partner.
I have no
okay?
idea what any of that means. I don't know. No one.
We can do this.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We'll be good. It'll be you and me. We'll play partners.
It's not
euchre.
happening.
We're six-handed.
Does he have to know the bird or the tree or the motto? Is there, like what of the things he has to know the capital?
Sugar, maple, Robin, Wisconsin.
He lives in the
Forward.
capital.
Yes, he does.
So he has to know what the capital is, right? I mean, he has to know that.
Well, yes. Well, and I'm sure if he grew up in Wisconsin, he probably did the state thing where you do all that stuff.
So are those questions that we shouldn't even bother asking?
You let us know. Are there things that Grant should have either done or know the answer to? And growing up in Wisconsin,
Boy,
your
Mike,
whole life.
Mike really jumping right into the gutter.
Rainbow trout.
Mike jumps right into the gutter. At least one DUI. Come on now, man.
Man, that's not him.
That doesn't make you a Wisconsinite. I get the sentiment here, but let's not go there. Come on.
No.
What about pronunciation of words?
He doesn't have too much of it, although I caught myself yesterday saying boat right here on this program, and it slipped right out, the boat.
Were you wearing your coat?
I wasn't. The bag and the rag with the boat and the coat. I didn't.
There's a good one. Does he have a bag full of bags? A bag full of bags in his garage somewhere.
How many bags of bags do you have?
Oh, too many.
I have at least 2.
I've got several because during the winter, the dogs just kind of go out in the back.
The garage bags of bags, the back porch bags of bags.
But I did find out that the place that we take Remy for doggy daycare accepts bags of bags. So now
you can recycle your bags of bags?
I can easily get rid of them if we're not going through them fast enough. So, yeah, we have to ask him if he has a bag of bags, right?
Okay, yeah.
What else about, Well,
let us know. Give us
your suggestions. Is there anything like tattoo related? Does he
no,
have, no?
I wouldn't say that. That doesn't have to happen. You know what I mean? Do you have calamine lotion for mosquito bites in your medicine cabinet? Maybe. I don't know. But have you... He's gone ice fishing. I'm sure of that. Because
auger, does he own an auger?
Well, I know he's got hip waders because he's a trout fisherman.
Well, he hurt his ankle when he broke his foot or whatever when he was trying to go wading.
Yes.
Let's see. Is there some sort of naming of lakes or something like that? Or counties? Is there some sort of
how many counties can you name?
Which county has the best fishing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is that some sort of intrinsic Wisconsin knowledge?
How many counties can you name?
Again, we're trying to figure out on Tuesday how Wisco Grant Bilse is.
He knows what a bubbler is. He's going to know that. He's going to be able to pronounce Economowoc correctly, right?
Sports questions are we don't need to ask those because he hosts a sports show.
Yes.
About Wisconsin. So, I mean, asking him when the Brewers made their run, what year did Robin Yount get drafted? I mean, those kind of things, right? Those would be wasted.
Has he been to Summerfest? Maybe a cream puff?
Yeah, I mean, asking him if he's just eaten and gone places, it feels kind of... I don't feel like we're getting to the root of the issue here.
Well, let us know if you have some suggestions.
Is there some other skill that a Wisconsinite possesses that someone else from outside of Wisconsin doesn't?
I don't know. We'll have to keep thinking about this.
How about ranking his top 5 Wisconsin beers? Is that
He's a beer guy, and he does like independent breweries. So this would be good.
What about famous people from Wisconsin?
We could. That'd be tough. He might have to study up.
Who's the most famous person from Wisconsin?
Probably Ed Gein.
Oh. Could he name, the serial killers of Wisconsin?
Other than athletes, right?
Ryan says, does he have a beer fridge in his garage? I will say, because of his living situation...
He's in an apartment.
He's living in an apartment, so that may not qualify, but he probably has one at his parents' house. Dad probably, you know what I mean?
I'm sure of it. Dad and uncle and the whole thing. Because they've got the house, but then they also have a shared relative cabin area thing.
What about the numbers on the Quick Trips? Do Wisconsinites know that, or is that just a Quick Trip thing? Because, we know where the Quick Trips are.
But I would never know store 472. Is that what you're saying?
Is that a thing?
I wouldn't, and I consider myself born and raised.
Somebody texted in and said, does Grant feel guilty not using a Quick Trip to fill his car up with gas? Is there a sort of I'm cheating on my girlfriend feel?
Ah.
All right. Chad said, where does up north truly start?
That's the
Mason-Dixon line. You got to find out where the Mason to Mendoza line.
I've seen people fist fighting over that on the internet.
Yeah. That's a good one, actually. I like that one. Write that one down.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Did you write that one down?
No.
Where does up north start? Because if you watch commercials, they tell you the Northwoods is in the Dells, right? And it's like, no, bitch, that's the middle of the state. Even I know that, and I'm not from here.
I'm guessing he's going to have a good opinion about this because he is from sort of the middle of the state, right? So for him, it would be up north is up north. It's not the middle.
Yeah, I mean, he would say up north is Iron River or
Hayward,
somewhere in that vicinity. He should know that.
Yeah, he will.
Tuesday, next week, we'll try to determine how Wisco Grant Bilse is because he doesn't know how to polka, and he's almost a 30-year-old man. I think he might actually be 30. This little son of a bitch has been getting away for it forever.
We can find that out.
It's not that. Even I can.
You and me and him, we need a fourth for this euchre game.
Dude,
you and me are going to be partners.
Never going to play euchre.
I'll be patient and kind, Brian.
Never.
I can do all of the ordering.
I'm so mentally checked
I can do all
out.
of the ordering. I got the right and the left bar, honey. Pick it up. Pick it up, babe. I got it.
It has been
this. I got the eighth.
It has been
right
a terrible experience every single time I've tried.
I'm going alone. Pick it up.
It has never been an enjoyable experience.
You, me, Grant,
Go
and a
fish.
foursome.
That's me playing euchre. Go fish.
We'll film it.
I don't have any twos. Our deuce is
do you
wild.
know how to deal?
I don't know how to do anything. I hate it. I don't even know why people play.
You don't hate it.
I watch people play, and they don't even need to play. They just put the cards down, pick them up, and then they deal, and they do it all over again.
We'll start
and then
as a foursome, and then we'll go to a six.
Awful.
That'll be real crazy.
Awful. None of it seems enjoyable to me whatsoever. I don't even know why people bother playing it. Bad News Happy Music is coming up in a bit.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
Man, you start talking about how Wisco somebody is, and the phones light up.
I love this.
I hope you're writing some of this down.
I am.
I can't be tasked with everything. I got to be honest. You got to do some of the work.
Up north start?
So I just got a text from my guy Tony. I'm just going to run through these. So if you want to write down the ones that I ramble off here, we'll save these for next Tuesday.
I'm just going to get typing.
Again,
all right, I'm ready.
We found out yesterday that our good buddy Grant Bilse, host of the Wisco Sports Show, heard on stations all across Wisconsin every weekday afternoon from 4 until 6. He apparently doesn't know how to polka. He's a 30-year-old man who was born and raised in Wisconsin, has spent his entire life here, and said to us yesterday that he was hoping his mother would eventually teach him how to do the polka.
Yes.
We couldn't believe that he didn't know how to do it already, so we decided yesterday that we would ask him next week when we talk to him a bunch of questions to try to determine how Wisco he actually is. Is this just a blind spot for him, or is there other things that he may need to work on? Tony rode on a tractor. Things Wisconsin for Grant.
Has he ever?
Ridden on a tractor.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Drank maple right off the tree. Is that a Wisconsin thing?
I've never done that.
We used to do it in New Hampshire. You'd go to the maple sap factory or whatever, and then they would make like the snow things where you'd roll the maple around like a wooden stick, and then you'd roll it in the snow, and you get like a maple ice cream thing.
I feel I'm pretty Wisconsin. Grew up on a farm, dairy farm. Never drank it out
partied
of the tree.
in a field. That's not necessarily an only Wisconsin thing, but that's definitely a...
Yes, and I'm sure he has. He grew up in central Wisconsin.
Another thing that people are very particular... This up north thing apparently is a real stickler. I've had several people message me about where up north begins. So this one, we make sure we
got it. But
star
number one.
Number one. Because Tony says in his text message... In my opinion, the Northwood starts north of Highway 64. Some would say Highway 8, but it's definitely not in the Dells. Then I got
sure it's not in the Dells.
Then I got a text from Ryan who said up north doesn't start until you pass Highway 29.
I think he's going to have a pretty good idea about this one, because he grew up in central Wisconsin. So north is definitely north for him. And he's really big into fishing, and so he's well aware of the rivers and the
Ryan also included... another question to ask Grant is the correct way of making an old-fashioned. That was the first thing we mentioned.
What's in an old-fashioned?
Even I know how to make that, and I'm not from Wisconsin. Of course, I did bartend for a number of years. Shorty said, ask him if he's ever been to Oktoberfest. I believe I've seen Grant at Oktoberfest.
You were with him.
Partied with Grant at Oktoberfest. So, yeah, that one I can answer right away.
You can answer for him, yes. He's been there.
is obviously we hold it near and dear to our hearts because it's here in La Crosse. Is that the biggest fest in the state, however?
No, I wouldn't. I would say Summerfest, and I would think he's been there because...
So the one in Milwaukee with the music for 2 weekends.
I think Summerfest is probably the one that would come to... There's a State Fair.
State Fair?
State Fair. That's why I said the cream puff thing, because that's...
All right, so State Fair or Summerfest. Have you been to either of those? Yep. Okay. Chad, of course, saying, where does Up North start?
Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to know that.
Somebody texted in, I love this one. Does Grant feel guilty not using Quick Trip to fill his car up with gas? I don't feel guilty, but I feel cringy. I feel cringy going into other gas stations. I got to be honest. I do, and I'm not even
I don't. Not if I have to go to the bathroom bad enough and it's on the side of the road.
I'm a transplant.
I'm there.
Amanda, with some great questions. She sent us a Facebook message. Grant Bilse questions. How warm does it have to get in the spring to break out the shorts? I wear shorts all year, so
he doesn't feel like a shorts all year guy, though.
He said you can also ask him, what temperature do you switch from a sweatshirt to a winter coat?
I don't know if there's ever... So that depends on... I mean, that can be a lot of factors. It could be 38, but the sun is out. Or it's 50, but it's super windy.
Amanda also says the best way to cook a brat.
Well, you boil in beer and... I mean, what...
Well, some people grill it, then boil it. Some people boil it, then grill it. I guess it's...
He's had butter burgers, right? There's no question about that.
You mean Culver's?
Yes.
I don't know.
For
Has
sure.
he? He doesn't know how to polka. Gene, that's why we're so torn by this whole situation. Darcy said, ask him if he knows what city Chris Farley is from.
Yeah, he rose to the top when you said famous from Wisconsin, but I figured I'd start with that.
Is he from Wisconsin or did he just go to Madison? He went to UW, right? But is he actually from the state?
Yes, I believe.
Okay, born and raised?
Yes.
Forgive me for not knowing that fact, but there's certainly no shortage of things we can ask him, but please feel free to keep them coming if you've got more suggestions about things we should ask Grant Bilse next Tuesday when we try to determine how Wisconsin he actually is.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the free beer fridge thing, but again, his living situation doesn't really lend itself to a beer fridge. He's in an apartment, so...
Has he had, Lefsa's pretty Wisconsin.
Lefsa's Minnesota.
Yeah, it can be Minnesota. It's not
Lefsa. I thought you were saying Lutefisk. But if you say Lutefisk, I think Minnesota. But Lefsa, he's had to have had Lefsa, right? Is there something that people... What about... The boss used to pound kraut, right? He used to pound cabbage to make his own kraut. Has he ever made anything pickled? Isn't that kind of a big deal out here with the farmers and the...
I don't know if it's just the Midwest, but sure, I could say that. He's a canned or made anything like... he could have helped his mother. There was a chance he could have done that.
Is there some sort of fish thing? Like, I know fishing, obviously, but what about
venison
smelts?
Sausage. There's
smelts and things like that, and some sort of smelt fry?
the fry up north.
The fish boil that you get at the... Is that a thing? Can we ask him questions about that?
It depends on if he's been there, right? He's had to have been there.
Keep them coming. rockmornings.com if you want to give us some more suggestions for Grant Bilse next Tuesday when we try to find out how Wisconsin he actually is. What about jingles for Wisconsin businesses? Finish the jingle. Save big money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should know that one. That's obvious, right? Is there any other ones that I'm...
Well, Oscar Mayer had its headquarters in Madison for years and years and years.
PBR,
and years
Harley,
and years and years.
Miller, obviously, we're all here.
So,
all right, we'll pare this thing down and we'll get.
Let us know though.
Maybe a good 10, 12
been
questions.
To the Dells, and that's matters.
He has to have been, right? At some point.
I feel like his family would have gone. Yes.
All right, because he does have a brother and a sister, right? So that's a family vacation in Wisconsin. We'll get to bad news, happy music in a bit, but coming up next, a very interesting game that the Cleveland Cavaliers played the other night. You know, you got these in-game competitions that they do for gift cards and shoes and stuff like that. We'll get to this Cleveland Cavaliers, the latest from them here in just a couple minutes.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. More from Brian and Gene is coming up.
Static X on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Every single major league sports team has some sort of in-game entertainment, right? They do the thing on the field.
Like the racing sausages, you mean?
Yeah. So this is usually in between innings or maybe during a TV timeout, especially if you're a professional team. They've got some sort of entertainment for the crowd, right? The people that are there that aren't watching it on television.
Mascot driven sometimes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's some sort
maybe
of
they bring out the T-shirt cannon
contest for people in the stands.
As you mentioned, the racing sausages is very popular with the Brewers. We've seen the Perfect Pump. You remember the Perfect Pump? There's an NBA team that they bring out like a gas pump, and it's not actually pumping gasoline, but like you hold on to the lever.
It has to stop,
and you have to stop at $50. And if you stop exactly at $50 or whatever it is, you win the prize.
That's awesome.
Dude,
I like
that one is one of my. That's newer, and it's one of my favorites.
Tom, good luck, dude. Attempt the perfect pump.
So close.
He just got a perfect pump, baby. Tommy with the perfect pump.
Because that seems doable.
Well, we all do it at the gas station, right? You're like, I got $20 on this, and if I'm not
trying
prepaying,
to get close, yes.
if I'm not prepaying, right, I want to stop right at 20, especially if it's cold and you're out there freezing your ass off.
Or you're just trying to. It feels like attainable, as opposed to like I'm making a shot from half court,
Right.
from the 3-point line. I'm doing a layup. I'm doing I could maybe do the perfect pump.
The Cavaliers apparently have a game that they do, which is right up my alley, because it's kind of inflicting pain on people. It's kind of being mean, right? We've seen people do the wing eating competition where they come out and eat the hot wings. And
Is this a rubber band snap or something like that?
No, this is it's a leaf blower to the face. It's the don't blink challenge.
And your lips go?
It's the don't blink challenge, and they bring out 3 people, and they basically turn this leaf blower on high, on full blast.
Right in their face?
Right in their stupid face.
And their lips are...
And their eyes and their lips are all closing, and they say the person who lasts the longest without blinking wins the $500 gift card.
So no goggles or anything, though, right? Just straight up in your face.
It sounds like you could do some serious damage to somebody's eyeballs.
It is time for our official leaf blower contest. We have 3 contestants. We have David, we have Brian, we have Ramon. They are each going to get the air from a leaf blower shot into their faces. The person who can keep their eyes open the longest without blinking is going home with a $500 gift card to center court. So up first, we have David. We have the clock on up ahead. Let's get ready to count them down. On your mark, get set, go!
Oh, I'm watching this. Yeah.
Wow, David. Super impressive. Did he, no? Wow, oh. 9.53, David, excellent job. 9.53, we're going to move on to Brian. Let's restart the clock at 0. On your mark, get set, go! Oh, this is good. All right, we're going to call it at 5:32. All right, 9 is the time to beat. Let's get ready, Ramon. On your mark, get set, go! 9.53 is the time to beat, and it looks like David is our big winner. Congratulations. You are going home with a $500 gift card to center court.
Hell of a prize, first of all. $500 gift card. That's nothing to balk at. But yeah, this dude took a leaf blower right to the face for 9 seconds.
Everybody else is like right away.
Well, the one guy's lips start going right away. And they're, you can see him kind of blinking. So I don't know how they count because but I love it.
He didn't blink at it. It doesn't look like at first, but yeah, the other two are like immediately. But I don't think even if you tried to be like, okay, I can do this, I think the shock of it would be automatic. It's kind of like trying to keep your eyes open when you sneeze. It's a human reaction. It just happens.
All I know is I can understand the joy that woman has when she watches people get blasted in the face by a leaf blower, because honestly, that would be my jam. I'd like to be the guy holding the leaf blower and inflicting punishment upon people. That sounds like fun.
Mm-hmm. I have, in fact, had a leaf blower chasing children around the house at one point in time.
Sounds like a blast. Sounds like a blast.
Yeah, it was great. It was
Sounds
great.
like a blast.
I don't know if they
I do
remember
it to the dog
that
every
way.
time I got it out. The dog hates it.
I don't know if they remember it that way, but I did come into the house on a Friday night with a leaf blower.
Oh, how many
chase
wines did we have before?
Hell yeah, I did.
All right. Bad news, happy music is next.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com.
You're about to enter a beautiful, exciting, wonderful new world.
A cockroach living in your nostril. Now that's just nasty. Add in some haven't pooped for 30 days.
Poop is raining from the ceilings. Poop.
And sprinkle in some hashtag Florida Man for flavor.
Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man. Florida man. Florida man.
Florida man.
Florida man quits his Burger King job, steals all of their chicken nuggets.
It's bad news.
Bad news.
With happy music.
Let's rock.
I got to be honest. I watch these videos. They're in my algorithm, and I don't understand why you would even go to these things.
Okay, tell me about it.
These are the crazy protests, right? That have been happening for months and weeks and whatever. And then you get other people who are like agitators from Turning Point USA or from whatever other organization, and they go there and they're trying to be in the group and interview people and kind of cause a commotion, and then that's what happens. And now this guy, I'm sure you've seen it, the Minnesota dad who shoved that girl who works for TP USA. Yeah, so the dad, his name is Chris Ostrushko. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. He's from Minnesota, and he's been accused of assaulting a conservative reporter at an anti-ICE protest. Says he's now been overwhelmed by the nonstop backlash against him and his family. He said, it's a little overwhelming, makes me second guess even living in this country, to be honest with you, with all that's going on. I've never had this happen in my life. Said that his family, his neighbors, extended family, inundated with hundreds of phone calls a day, text messages, social media messages. He and his wife, Deanna, and their daughter, Paige, seen on camera in an altercation with Turning Point USA reporter Savannah Hernandez outside the Whipple building back on April 11th. Hernandez was there covering the protest, interviewing people, which a lot of...
What you're supposed to do.
Nick Shirley, right? All these other people that are out there, right? They're out
reporting on the news.
She says demonstrators surrounded her after realizing she was affiliated with Turning Point USA. Protesters blowing their horns in her face, whistles. They got whistles and they got air horns and all that stuff. A lot of times it ends up becoming a physical altercation, and that's exactly what happened here.
This was a scuffle between, like...
Yeah, she says protesters were blowing horns in her face when the dad, Chris, and his daughter attacked her. The video clip of the incident shows Chris coming up from behind her and shoving her to the ground. Right? He said in a previous interview he was defending his wife and his daughter and described Hernandez as the aggressor in the incident. Well, now things aren't working out for this guy, and he doesn't want to live in the country anymore. These people that go to these things, all of them, I got no time for any of that, man. I don't want to be a part of any of it. It just looks like someone's going to get killed if they haven't already. I mean, there's the one with the guy where he knocked out like 7 people.
Yes.
I mean, every time I watch one of these videos, I'm just waiting for someone to get killed.
It is not her fault in the least bit, but I don't see any kind of identifying anything on her, like a press badge or anything.
Well, they know who you are. They're well aware. These people know who you are. They're looking for you.
If you
have one of these little microphones and you're walking around,
I don't even see that. I see
they usually have somebody with a sign, and then they know. But these people are well known in that community, right? They're known, and now this guy.
Yeah,
he comes out
and a violent push for sure.
He told Brian Shapiro last week, "We are absolutely not violent people. In fact, we tend to shy away from it." Says the dude who shoved a girl to the ground from behind without her looking.
I see that.
That's the act of a violent person.
Yeah.
Say they've been doxxed and smeared after the video went viral, lost their jobs. Claimed that Paige suffered neck injuries from the police. The police, by the way, not Savannah Hernandez. The police are their own organization. But yeah, it looks... They tried to start a GoFundMe, this guy from Minnesota, trying to raise $8,000.
I see her getting tackled, too. That looks brutal.
Covering some of the medical bills.
Some other people there.
So far, they've only got $300 in their little GoFundMe account. So, again, I don't understand why these people bother doing this stuff. It's just insane to me. Normally, when you talk about a national park, it's because some idiot got out of their car and got too close to a bison.
Gored by a buffalo?
Oh, man, I love those videos. I love watching the animals do what animals do.
Or fall into a bubbling...
I tell you what, that may get us all together. I mean, I know we can't agree on politics anymore. None of us agree. But if we could figure out a way for the government to run on bison attacking idiots in Yellowstone.
Getting out by the bear and trying to get
because everyone agrees with it. Everyone loves it. If you get out of your car and go close to the bison and get attacked, not a single human being in America feels bad for you.
Ooh, shouldn't have done that. So what happened? What's this?
This is not a bison, but it is a vehicle. The vehicle crashing into a family-owned gift shop in West Yellowstone last week, sending merchandise flying, narrowly missing several employees inside.
Man.
And yes, there is surveillance video of this incident. Shows the moment the car drove straight through the side of the Cradleboard gift shop, shattering glass and sending merchandise all across the store. The owner of the store, Jennifer Rinch, said it's just absolutely crazy. Said she got a call about the crash on Friday, has since reviewed videos and photos of the aftermath. She calls me and she's like, oh my God, a car just drove through the side of the building. The vehicle traveled several feet into the store, coming close to hitting an employee. The woman and her father-in-law said that her father-in-law was behind the counter when the crash happened.
And very lucky to be alive.
He was briefly buried under debris. You can literally see it hit so hard it just tipped over and shattered. The shop is known for selling Yellowstone-themed souvenirs ranging from jewelry to clothing, rocks, hats.
Snow globes, all that stuff.
Significant damages. They say that their damages totaled over $17,000. Police say the driver was operating a rental vehicle and the crash was accidental. AKA, I didn't know how to drive a car.
Well, and maybe it's the national park, so the roads could be super narrow and very curvy, and you're going way too fast for conditions or what have you.
Yeah. Moving on to Finland. The Air Force in Finland admitting that several cadets on a recent training flight were using their flight patterns to create the shapes of male genitalia.
Watch where you're going, needle dick.
We've seen this before. Runners do this occasionally, right? When they're mapping out their runs. You couldn't actually see the twig and berries from the trails behind the planes as they're flying around. But they did pop up on the flight radar tracking service that documents the routes of the aircrafts online. At least 4 planes followed flight patterns that created the shapes of penises with balls. The Air Force...
So that planes are just doing that.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
Well, I don't think those are the patterns they're supposed to be flying in.
Of course not.
For a training
But that's funny.
op. But the Air Force representatives in Finland confirmed that the pilots were disciplined. Didn't say what the punishment was.
Big sky penises?
They did say that there was no danger to other air traffic during the exercise. That's the issue, right? Is that you're flying around making funny little jokes in the sky, but these flights all have patterns. They have to abide by them because we don't want planes crashing in midair.
Of course. And as long as they were safe and they wanted to make big sky penises, I think you just got to say, you know what, wouldn't you if you could fly a plane?
Probably not. Probably not.
Big smiley face?
No. I'm good.
I don't know. Probably would.
I think I'm all right. Last but not least, this is a hashtag Florida woman who was a substitute teacher at Lake Mineola High School in Lake County, Florida. She was arrested after she was caught acting erratically in class. Deputies said the incident happened at about 10:30 in the morning when a school resource deputy got a staff alert. Upon getting to the classroom, the deputy found the substitute teacher, identified as Angela Faith Jordan, yelling incoherently, stating that they should put her in prison for life.
She wanted to go to prison for life?
Apparently she was shouting that at the top of her lungs. Investigators say they learned that before their arrival, Jordan had been yelling, slamming her hands on a desk, and making inappropriate statements to students, along with twerking in the classroom. Yeah, so
she lost it.
You can kind of hear her say the word prostitute in there. She told students, or at least yelled to them, that she would engage in sexual activity with the students and referred to herself as a $1 million prostitute.
You remind me of my sister. Are you also a prostitute?
Whoa. So she's very unstable and needs help.
School resource officer got there. So did the assistant principal. They entered and instructed Mrs. Jordan to gather her belongings and leave the classroom.
And
she then
refused,
stating that she did not want to be tasered. Don't tase me, bro. Continued to refuse to leave, prompting the deputy to have to restrain her and then escort her out the front. Investigators say they spoke with victims, claimed Jordan had battered her, one of the students. Yeah. She faces misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct, simple battery, and 2 counts of disruption of a school function.
Sounds like there's more than just escorting her out of the property.
Yeah, maybe she was a little high on her own supply.
Needed some
school
sort
or
of
something
help
was
there.
going on, but yeah. Probably not going to be subbing anytime soon. Twerking, assaulting students, calling yourself $1 million prostitute. It seems like a lot of money for a prostitute.
Well, isn't it by the half hour or something? An hour? I mean,
you got no other options? There's nothing else. That's where we're setting the bar, is $1 million. You're a substitute teacher. How can you charge $1 million?
I don't think there was enough back logging done on her. You know what I mean? Like they didn't do enough background check. Didn't go deep enough. Maybe surfacely they went to NCCAT and she had the proper paperwork, but they didn't go down a couple layers.
Bad news, happy music on Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. We'll get to our daily check-ins after Crossfade.
Rock Mornings with Brian and Gene. Find them online at rockmornings.com. Call.
Hello.
Email.
I tried emailing you.
Text. So many ways to check in with us. Check. We rely on you guys for traffic updates, requests, and all sorts of other stuff.
Check this out.
Ooh, boy. Might have broken a record for the amount of messages we got today.
Was it the Wisco stuff?
Yeah, man. People are hardcore about that.
Of course they are. It's taken a lot of pride in the state.
Again, rockmornings.com is the website where you can find all our contact info. You can also download the 2 apps and get in touch with us that way, whether it's the 95.7 The Rock app or the 92.9 The X app. Got a text from Roxy. Don't be a dickhole. Not quite sure what that's about, but I think it has something to do maybe with the pilots. Dan wondered, has Grant ever shot a white-tailed deer?
I think he's hunted.
I know he's hunted. I don't know if he's actually got a deer, but
he might even be a bow hunter because I know his family has a lot of land in the middle of Wisconsin. That's where he grew up on the lakes fishing and all of that. So I think so, but I don't know.
Ryan, again, sending too many effing messages. Ryan, you really got to pare it down.
I appreciate that.
Ryan, I love you, but seriously, like you just fire off too many text messages. You got to really be more concise here. Several text messages from one man, that's too many in a morning. One text, that's what you're getting. His first text said, up north doesn't start till you pass Highway 29. Then he texted about making old fashions. Then he asked if Grant and his family have cannibal sandwiches around the holidays, which is apparently a very Wisconsin thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my dad had them a lot with his friends, and if we were having euchre at our house, we would often have them, but like I don't eat them now. I mean, it's not a continued Wisconsin tradition for my family. It ended kind of with my dad.
We got a text from Rob, who apparently thought we were somebody else, said, sorry, I was just calling to see if I left my paperwork at home. I thought it was in my car, but I don't see it. I responded with a question mark, and he said, my bad, wrong person, LOL.
We have his paperwork?
I don't know who has his paperwork. Neither does Rob. That's the problem. Shorty, hashtag Florida man, texting in, wondering if Grant had ever been to Oktoberfest. I know he has for a fact. I've partied with him at Oktoberfest. Somebody else texted in and said, best buddy cop movie is End of Watch. That's nice. Thank you. We were talking about One Gotta Go Wednesday, buddy cop movies, and we went with 4 of the more famous buddy cop movies. Chad also wondering, where does up north start? Tony, my buddy Tony, said same thing. Up north, the Northwoods is north of Highway 64. Some would say Highway 8, but it's definitely not the Dells. Yeah, I just love that they tell you that it's the Northwoods and the Dells,
real upset
because that's what Chicago people think. People from Chicago think that the Northwoods is the Dells, and it's totally not.
We all know it doesn't start there. We all know that.
Yeah. Ryan, different Ryan, does he have a beer fridge in his garage?
He lives in an apartment with some roommates right now, so I don't think his lifestyle. I don't think so, but yes, probably at the cabin.
Mike with a heater right off the gate said at least one DUI. That's how Wisconsin you are, is having one DUI. No, that's not. Brenda wanted to know about Miami Vice for Buddy Cop.
TV show versus movie.
We were talking about movies, not TV shows. Thank you, though, Brenda. Dean also said, Bad Boys Can Go, Lethal Weapon is the GOAT. Also got a text from Brian earlier, wanted to know about going to a Brewer game, if it was better in May or July, and where to sit to watch the game. And I'd love to answer those questions for you, but it's really a personal preference. I mean, honestly, I like being in the shade. I like being near the craft beer oasis. After that, I don't really care.
Some people like to be down in the stands.
Some people want to be
back.
up in the number one. Somebody want to be in the twos. Somebody want to be in the nosebleeds.
Behind the dugout. They want to be up in the decks that include the food and beverages. So there's lots of options. WiscoTrips.com for our bus trips, which do include your ticket, by the way, to the game, speaking of, as well as round-trip motor coach transportation, so you don't have to worry about driving or gas or parking fees or trying to get in and out of the parking lot. It's got a tailgate with food included as well, so it's a one-shop done kind of thing.
Thank you very much for all the text messages. Good to hear from you guys, and we'll find out on Tuesday how Wisco Grant Bilse actually is.